About 20 months ago.
All right, guys. So, you all good, Lee?
Oh yeah, you're good.
Cool. All right. So welcome everybody to the second session of Breakthrough 120. Obviously, again, the goal in Breakthrough 120 is to have 10 real estate conversations, 5 days a week, for the next 120 days to set you up to net 9 agreements. So before we, I guess, start anything, I'm going to go through some disclaimers. That also, just let me say, this class is like set for 2 hours. If I'm up here for 2 hours looking at all you guys with eyes on me, I will faint. None of us wants that. It's going to be super girly. It's going to be embarrassing. So I'm going to take up time doing things like this. Yeah, pretty much like that, Siobhan. So telemarketing. I guess I'm just going to kind of go through everything here. So follow TCPA. Don't make any kind of calls to anybody who's on the do not call list. Does everybody know how to check the do not call list? Everybody know what I'm talking about?
You're not allowed to check it.
We'll go on that here then. As far as, don't ever use an auto dialer or artificial voice or pre-recorded messages without proper consent. It says contact your attorney to ensure your compliance and visit console.command.kw.com/learning/topics/10471 for more information. You guys all wrote that down, I assume? Yeah, anyway. Let me see, what else is actually important? I mean, I'm sure it's all important, but, you guys have all gone through fair housing. Warning, buyers' letters, videos, and photographs may lead to fair housing violations. It's important to educate consumers about fair housing laws and talk with your broker before submitting buyer letters. Buddy, I assume knows who the broker. Some I know are you new? Okay. Okay, cool. Everybody's met Scott. All right, wonderful. Negotiating commissions. Commissions are not set by law or practice and are fully negotiable. There is no commission standard, and pricing will vary by agent and market conditions. KW does not determine commissions, plays no role in establishing commissions. I'm going to go over just a little bit more because this is being recorded and Michael's going to watch it. So, shout out from past, Michael, when you're watching this. Likewise, offers of cooperative compensation are fully negotiable and not required by law or practice. Offers of cooperative compensation must be openly discussed with the client and authorized in writing before they are made or accepted. KW plays no role in agent decisions to offer or accept cooperative compensation and imposes no requirements on agents to offer or accept cooperative compensation. Let's see. AI disclaimer. This will be the last one we'll do, and then we'll just get into it. So, any text or materials generated by artificial intelligence should be reviewed for accuracy and reliability, as there may be errors, omissions, or inaccuracies. The use of generative AI is subject to limitations, including the availability and quality of the training data used to train the AI model used. Users should exercise caution and independently verify any information or output generated by the AI system utilized, and should apply their own judgment and critical thinking when interpreting and utilizing the outputs of generative AI.
I can get that. You're
Read that again.
Buncher. Oh my gosh, there's so much compliance. Okay. Listen. We're just gonna go through that.
Yeah, we know.
You guys,
It's in the
don't do anything stupid. Don't call people who don't want you to call them. I mean, who have told you not to call them. Anything AI, I don't know, run it by Scott, run it by Michael. Just behave, I guess, generally. So again, goal on Breakthrough 120 is to have 10 real estate conversations 5 days a week for the next 120 days to set you up to net 9 agreements. So first session you guys did with Justin, just going over kind of the foundation, building your database. I just want to ask, anybody have any kind of ahas from Justin's class? Anything that you guys weren't thinking about? Any leads or anybody that you can, I guess you can kind of point to that you weren't thinking about to add? What do you got?
Not just talking to people, I got a referral.
Yep.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Okay. Have you done any kind of implementation
I have
since? What's that?
that since last week,
Yeah.
yes. Just talking to people. I got a referral, and then I gave her information to Mike that like country mortgage,
Cross country. Okay.
cross country
Yeah.
mortgage, and he's sending her some applications. So, like I said, we'll see where it goes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask, like, how you know this person?
So I work with the lady, and she worked with the other lady, and the other lady's been looking to buy a house. So she originally told me she knows someone that she might use, but she kept saying yes to give it the number to Mike and
Yeah.
having him send over.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and so I kind of kept in touch with her, and then I told her I would give her a call tomorrow.
Yeah, and that brings me to something too that I want to talk about here in just a little bit as well. So obviously, this whole class is just going to be follow-up and lead follow-up, but I do want to get into, people like Mike, just lenders in general, some of these other people that you have talking to your leads, just kind of staying in touch with them. I have my lenders, a lot of the time they will end up we'll send birthday cards, they'll reach out every few months, say, hey, Andrew and I were thinking about you. So it's kind of nice whenever you can have affiliates also reach out on your behalf as well. So just lead generation and accountability, conversation framework and practice, proven lead gen strategies, and then mindset and motivation. I believe is kind of some of the stuff that you guys went through here last time. So session 2, so lead follow-up. So utilizing the functions of Command or your chosen CRM to follow up consistent value contacts. Does anybody here use a different CRM other than Command? You guys all use Command? Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Do you use something different?
Yeah, I do. Which I thought was funny whenever
That's
they
all good.
asked me
All right, so-
whenever they asked me to do this. So there's going to be a lot of reading off this too. It's going to be awesome.
What do you use?
I use some Go High Level.
Okay.
Yeah, have you ever heard of it? Yeah.
What is it called?
Everybody had to use Command.
What's that?
I thought everybody had to use Command.
No, they may have different guidelines for anybody who is in PC. But yeah, there's a lot of agents who will use one called Follow Up Boss, just Go High Level.
People
There's
don't even use Command.
there's a lot of people who don't use
Operate.
Command. Yeah, I use Command as well. It's not one that I typically have most of my tags and stuff in. But I mean, Command's free, which is great. And Command, as time goes on, they're adding more and more to it, more integrations, more stuff that can be Zapiered into it for a lot of automation, which we'll go over SmartPlans probably more so here on Wednesday. But no, I mean, Command's a good.
Yeah, I thought everybody.
Well, so we all get access to it, which is cool, but you don't have to use it. So, but it is nice, especially, and I don't know how long you've been in the business, but especially whenever you're starting out. I mean, Command is more
That's what
than
it
enough.
is. It's just the thing that we were all introduced to, so it's what we know CRMs
Right.
are.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll end up going over, and again, I think more of this will be kind of on Wednesday, but customizing the type of smart plan you use with each contact based on their real estate needs to bring them value, and establishing the habit of regularly updating your database with the information you gather about your contacts, which obviously as you're in touch with these guys, as you have conversations, we'll start making notes about the conversation that you have so that you can recall it here, again in the future. We'll go over tags and all of that kind of stuff so that you guys can kind of pinpoint exactly who you want to contact. But we get into some of that then. So progress report. Anybody, I think that they want me to ask each one of you guys, like from session 1, how many contacts you've added to your database. and how number of, so you're gonna see a lot of this TCPA compliant calls you made. Number of conversations you had, real estate follow-up opportunities, challenges, ahas. Does anybody, Michelle, anybody made any kind of new contacts or anything since last week?
I mean, I've added some new people into the database, but I haven't called anyone like that. Yeah, I kind of just added them in to get the preliminary process kind of started.
Okay, awesome. Anybody else? Hey, how are you?
I mean, I was using Excel, but not like something, and I realized it's not convenient for me, so I added in a bunch of contacts.
Okay.
Which is good because I have my notes all in a notebook.
Right.
So now I can see why it's beneficial to use Command. Just because there's only like 5 notes in there, it has an AI summary. So instead of me going trying to find,
Cool. I like the AI summary.
yeah, like because I have all these notes, and I can't find people, so it's much easier. So I've had other conversations, but my problem too goes back to keeping track. But Command will be able to keep track of it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can make notes, tasks, and we'll go through some of that stuff. But so you were using Excel exclusively for all of the people, which love the hustle. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. As somebody who half the time it takes me a little while to put my stuff in. So a lot of the time I end up putting people on like notepad and paper. I can respect that.
Yeah, so it was like someone's on notebook, someone's on Excel.
Bless you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
questions. Trying to work with Command is easier now. Instead of just, because it's in a notebook, but I just gotta find them.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Well, it's nice if you can. And the thing is, too, getting into that habit
Yeah.
of just whenever you meet somebody, God bless you.
Thank
Of,
you.
yep, of putting them right in. So do you mind if I ask how many people, whenever you uploaded all of them,
Well, they're not even all is up yet.
how many contacts do you think you got on Excel?
It probably was like 20,
Okay.
but that wasn't consistent either. That's my problem is the follow.
Is the consistency,
Yeah,
right?
so that was like all of February. I was like keeping track while I was following up in February, but it just becomes a lot because like you need a new box to put in this. It just was too much. So I'm like, let me stop making things harder on myself.
Well, and do you mind if I ask where those contacts came from? Were they all people you already knew?
Some of them were people I already knew. Some of them were from different like Realtor.com
Okay.
and Ozo.
Okay, cool. Anybody else been plugging any kind of contacts since last week? Tatiana?
I finally finished uploading my contacts from business insurance and notary.
Okay. Now, did you have that stuff uploaded? Does everybody here know that you can upload all of your contacts from your phone into Command? Okay. You all know how to do that?
No.
Okay. That's okay. That's all right.
Yeah, I sent my Excel sheet to Scott.
To Scott Leroy.
I had 560.
Yeah. Okay. So the cool thing is we have access to Scott Leroy Marketing for those of you, if anybody doesn't know. So Scott Leroy was an agent. Actually, I think he has his license as a referral here right now, but he's based down out of Florida. He actually has a whole marketing company that KW really kind of got behind. If you have an exported list, like in an Excel spreadsheet or something like that of just a bunch of contacts, which if you use any kind of like Realtor.com or Real Connect or Vulcan 7, Kazoo, Zillow, all those guys, a lot of the time you can export your leads into like an Excel spreadsheet, send them over to Scott Leroy Marketing, and he'll upload everything, put in, or people from his team will. But I've done it with, goodness, thousands of contacts. So it's actually super, super useful. Saves you a ton of time, and all it is like an email too. So he'll ask you for a confirmation, and it's pretty sick. So
It's like 48-hour process.
yeah, for sure. As far as, so is there anybody who did not add anybody to their database? Yeah.
Best to upload your contact to Zoom Academy and not your personal.
Into the Momentum Academy.
Yeah.
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 That's kind of,
Is it its own command? Like,
well, like being in the PC group kind of has their own
database.
Yeah, but when you go to, you initially put it in, it auto-populates the pro, MC, blah, blah, blah. But then when you actually go to sync your documents, then you choose your name. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so it's more so there for like compliance.
Yeah.
Okay. I would add them to your personal one. And then from what it sounds like, just whenever you start working with one of them, maybe then you actually add it to that group. That's kind of what it's sounding like to me. I'll double check with Sarah Kapatsky on that. She'll know more about that than I will. But for now, if we're wrong, blame it on me. So, yeah. So, and I knew that this was going to come up, obviously, just because this is all. So this is all basically like almost like an offshoot of Ignite. So one of the things that Ignite really kind of goes over, a lot of it's going to be mindset. So consider your fears. Look at your fears from the previous session. Which of these no longer affect you the same way? So did everybody write down from the previous session any kind of limiting beliefs, any kind of fears, any kind of, this is why I don't want to make calls, any kind of anxiety? Yeah? Anybody?
Well, what do you,
Anybody? Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No.
What do you do about, the realtors in my area are headed to the point where they will say something bad about another realtor to keep them in business? How do you combat that?
Goodness, well, don't do that. Don't ever end up being one of those people. Not that, no, I know that. So where do you live?
Juniata County.
Juniata County. Okay,
Yes.
so you're up in the sticks a little bit
yeah.
then. Where are you at? I'm from Perry County.
Are you?
I'm originally from Perry County. Yeah. Oh, okay. I used to go to Mifflintown all the time. I used to work with all the Amish and stuff up there selling like the pallets and that. I know right where you're at.
Yes. And I know a lot of them because I used to.
So I say it with love. When I say you're in the South, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, your county's about as rural as mine was.
Well, sometimes it doesn't feel like there's a lot of love for each other up there.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Well, they're still in the back. They're still talking about stuff happened 30, 40, 50 years. They still gossip.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff they don't even have any foundation for.
Okay, so is a limiting fear then that somebody's saying something about like, oh, or maybe you're new or this or that, or they're saying, do you mind if I ask how long you've been in real estate?
I've been in real estate. I got in 91, but I've been in and out because of, I guess, more confidence. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't think I had to stick up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do now. Just one morning I woke up and I thought,
And you
well,
just thought, yeah.
after Bold, I took Bold.
Okay.
I highly recommend it.
How long ago was that?
I think it was 2018, and I still struggled a little bit. And I went through a divorce 2 years ago. That didn't help any, but I mean, I just decided, I'm just as good as everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you overcame that fear then.
I did.
You overcame the, I don't care what all these other agents are going to say about me. Let them talk.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. And unfortunately, there's always going to be one of the biggest troubles with this industry is other agents. It just is.
I know. There's just, I mean.
So we do our best here to not be one of those agents.
That's
And a lot of the time, it's people who've been in a long time who aren't, they don't hold themselves to the same standards that we do, whether that's professionally, ethically, just with the things that they disclose, all sorts of stuff. But we can't control other people, as you know.
That I have an issue with.
Okay.
And I know my kids' father, I know stuff she had done to him during a sale. And I said, well, you should have used me, that wouldn't have happened to you.
Gotcha.
And, but she actually told my son and daughter-in-law not to use me because I'm a bad agent. She took advantage of a weakness there.
Gotcha.
And I know she did it because my son always tells me.
Yeah, of course.
The truth. And I'm like, what? And see, my daughter and I don't particularly get along.
Okay.
Because of issues
Yeah.
because of children.
Sure.
So she took advantage of that weakness and said that, but my son wanted to go with me. He told me, you're my agent.
Yeah.
not her. No, he doesn't even talk to that agent now, because she split up with his wife.
Well, and it's never great, obviously. That's the thing, too. Whenever you're bad-mouthing another agent, people see that, and they don't
There's
typically
rules
feel great
against
about
that.
it. Well, there's a lot of rules against it, and unfortunately, it's probably not going to stop anytime soon.
No.
All you can do is obviously just be the best agent that you can be and operate the way that you know that you're supposed to.
Yeah.
And that's, again, typically the worst part of this business is other agents who don't act the way that we probably know that they should.
Well, there's an agent up there that actually called my seller, and she didn't want to keep her listing with me anymore, and she bumped with the other agent.
Yeah. Well, some of that stuff, it sounds like you and I should probably talk about here then.
Yeah, we should, because
yeah.
it's bad up there.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Because I'm like
Well-
one step away from calling the real estate commission, because I don't know how much they're doing that to other agents.
Yeah.
And now that I'm with Keller Williams, they're probably even, because they don't want new blood up there.
Gotcha.
I know that for a fact, because
Yeah.
I've already talked to them. Some of these agents are friends of them.
Yeah.
They don't want new blood up there.
Right. Well, we'll definitely talk about some of this here then too.
Okay.
Maybe getting Scott involved in some of this,
Yes.
where
Yes.
he's needed. So,
Yes.
anybody else have any kind of fears or anything, anything that pops up whenever you think that you got to start making calls? Even some successful agents don't really like to make calls. Not pointing anybody out in particular, but obviously staying in touch with our people. I mean, the only thing to me, the only thing that's worse than making some of those calls is seeing some of those people then go and do a deal with another agent whenever you know that it was just your own self-belief and your own fear getting in the way of reaching out to that person. Has anybody else had that happen? Anybody else, since you've been in the business, you've had somebody else, another agent, work with somebody that you were close to or that you knew that you probably should have been the one, and had you made those calls or made that follow-up, it sucks. Yeah, oh, it's the absolute worst, and I promise you, it's way worse than getting told no over the phone. So,
I think the fear for me is, nobody wants to make a phone call saying, hey, how you been, it's Andrew, anybody looking to buy or sell a home, right? Nobody wants to make or receive that call. It's
Right.
awkward, right? It's too salesy. So a lot of what we talk about is how do you make that call warmer, right?
Mhm.
And that might be about inviting them to an event or calling them, around their birthday or their home anniversary or their after their vacation, right? How to go, just have some small talk. Be like, hey, what are your goals? They say the Ford method: family, occupation, recreation, dreams.
Yep.
What goals you have for this year? And you might hear things like, oh, well, you might remember little Johnny, he's a senior in high school now, when he graduates, we're out of here, right? And then that's a funnel lead for next year, things like that. But I would not make that call be about, even the cash giveaway. If anybody's doing that, the $1,000 cash giveaway, right? You can call them and say, hey, only reason why I'm calling you is to give you a chance to enter for this $1,000 cash giveaway. While I have you, how's it going with the house? You know what I mean?
Right.
Instead of just being, that is the purpose of the phone call, because that feels very not personal.
right. And so having something then to actually call about, having some kind of piece of value, whenever we're making a call and we actually have something to talk about, obviously it's way easier than we're just making a call just to say, hey, how are you? Just an awkward, weird, random, and then eventually you get into the, hey, anybody who's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate?
Or look at the news, right? Look at the interest rates. If you have an investor, like, hey, I was just reading, or we had an accountant teach us, and the tax laws just changed for investment properties. I thought of you, something where the value add. I want to feel like that call is for no agenda, no reason, right? And maybe some of those calls are don't even ask for the lead every time, right? Because it makes you be more authentic. But then because you're adding value, you actually have the right to ask for.
It's okay to just call and just build the relationship. All of this is, it's all people. 100% of your colleagues are people. 100% of your clients are people. Maybe
Christian, the
just
guy's
do what you can
foot,
to get better at talking to people.
The guy's 9 foot tall, walking around.
Yeah.
He just got into real estate a few months ago, right? So he's calling everybody he knows, high school, sports, his parents, families, everything, and just taking them for coffee. right? Like just to get to know them and let them know that he changed career paths and it's working. I think he's got 2 listings off of it.
Absolutely. What do you got, Todd?
Kind of gonna piggyback off what Dave said, but for me, because I've been making more, see, I've been struggling with them, but I've gotten better at them. I think I've gotten more comfortable just because I usually start with a sphere of this call first.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody I know.
Mhm.
It gets me a little bit warm and makes me feel easier with talking to a stranger. So
Yep.
definitely finding that position of value, that's something of value that you can offer them, so it's not always salesy. Something that you can give them to make them want to work with you. My goal is to get an appointment, get in front of you and try and get that appointment. But definitely working off of having something of value, even if it's really not much. It
Yeah.
could just be something as simple as
Anything.
information, a document, anything, but
Yeah.
something to get them to want to trust me.
For sure. And I would even say almost the inverse of that as well, too. Whenever you have a couple of calls, maybe some of them don't go well. If you're anything like me, sometimes you get calls, people are graphically telling you to stick it where the sun don't shine. Those are my favorite. Once you get so many of those, you're kind of like, all right, well, the next one can't be any worse. And sometimes it turns out that it is. But typically, once you get enough of those, you just kind of start to become. Can I ask you, Tatiana? You said that you're getting better with the calls, and do you feel like you're becoming more bulletproof? Kind of the more calls that you make, the more that you get yourself into it. You still almost have that anxiety, but you're better at just making yourself do it anyway.
I think what it is the confidence, the practice that builds confidence, me to keep working and trying at it and not giving up. Like even if you do get that bad call, I'm the person that says go F yourself.
Yeah.
You make that second call.
Boy, do I get a lot of
You
those.
get that next person, even if they say it too, you just don't give up.
But Tatiana, your calls, one day I heard you were calling people that like sign up for like a virtual home buyer clinic, right? Those
Right.
calls are much different than calling random people, right?
Right.
Because they already like know who you are. At least you can
It's a warm
jog their
lead.
memory. Like you have the credibility already. It's not like who are you again? Like so
Yeah.
like that's the key is just find a reason to call someone that you have a connection with. Like even if it's a mutual friend, like
Right.
call through your friend's friends or something like that.
Yeah. So is it fair
Well,
to
I
say?
think lately I stepped outside of my element because I never called expireds or FISBOs. I
Yeah.
didn't like argue them lately. But I just,
Real quick, how many of y'all call expireds and FISBOs?
I called
That
one.
they're free.
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are absolutely friendly.
There's one thing you do know about them is they're motivated to sell their home.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been getting into people's houses, people who are selling their home by themselves just by offering a free open house or doing a video tour of their property, and I've been posting them, and people have been letting me come in there, and then I'm building from that relationship.
So instead of just going in asking about what's in it for you or asking for something from them, you're offering them something coming from a position of value.
Absolutely.
And now they're a little bit more receptive to you actually talking to them and inviting you into their home.
Right.
Crazy concept.
Yep.
So it's almost like the cure for fear is action. Is that fair? Just constant action, and you start developing like a thicker hide.
Well, how do you start the action?
Got to have one moment of courage.
See, my issue isn't talking to strangers. I can talk to anybody.
Yeah.
It's talking to the people I know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why. It's like the opposite for everyone. I can talk to any stranger anywhere. I can find their whole life story out in seconds. But it's just talking to the people I already know. Like, those are the conversations I don't have. Like, I don't have a conversation with my SOI.
So can I ask, what is it about your SOI? Just because you feel like I'm gonna have to see you again. So if I say something stupid,
Yeah, or if I do something, like, it's like you have more weight on those people because you actually know.
You don't want to put it.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin the
Sure.
relationship. If I can ruin a relationship, no offense with a stranger, because I don't know you can campaign.
Right.
Yeah, I would never see you.
not
again.
that you're going for that.
No, not that
Right,
I'm
right,
going for that, but it's like less pressure to be on the phone call with this person than it is with someone that I know. Because then I feel like I guess I get too much in my head, and I'm tripping over certain things that I wouldn't trip over with a stranger.
So
I'm the exact same way. Does anybody else feel like that? Like it's
Yeah.
harder to talk to your SOI?
Yes.
Good. Show of hands, quick, if you don't mind. Okay, so not Liz, not Tatiana, but yeah, okay.
I think that's
so,
an internal.
So it's about half the
limiting-
room.
I think that's your own limiting belief, though. Like, hey, am I too new? Am I too inexperienced with this person? Because if you fast forward to the point where they're transacting with you, they're buying or selling a home, who better to take care of them than somebody that actually cares about them? You know what I mean? Because if they just get a Zillow agent that's just treating them like a lead, trying to get them into a home as fast as possible to get a paycheck, right? You actually care. You may visit them in that home. You know, like you know their family and their friends and things like that. I think it's a limiting belief that we have internal that they don't even have of us.
Yeah, and that fear's 100% real, and I mean it's valid. I think the thing, kind of like what you were saying, is it's for me. Like I remember watching a family member before I ended up getting into real estate. I remember watching a family member, and I won't mention the agent's name or anything like that, but I remember watching them work with a realtor, and every time that they got on the phone with that realtor, it sounded like that realtor just had better things to do. Like they were just like, yeah, hey, what's going on? Yeah, no, that's fine. I can get with you, and I'm like, now the sale was probably like 500, 600,000. Not nothing. Like that's I guess it could be bigger, sure, but it's a substantial sale.
No, that sounds very cool.
And right, and to be very just kind of blasé about it, like it's for what, and just make it like I don't ever want anybody that I know to feel like that, and I don't ever want any of my clients to feel like that or their family to feel like that. That's certainly not a great way to get a client to refer you to somebody, right? So whenever you realize that you care more than a lot of other agents out there, like we were talking about, there's a lot of not phenomenal agents out there, and you start to realize like, I do know what I'm talking about. Like I am pretty good at this, and it's almost, and forgive me for saying this because this may come off worse than I intend for it to. Whenever we take it off of ourselves, and because we have that fear, like that anxiety of like, man, I don't want to call this person, and I don't want to sound stupid. I have it. I still have it. We also have it. But one of the things for me is I got to try and remember, well, I'm not calling them necessarily to give, just for the hell of it. I'm calling to help. My whole shit is, I want to help. I've helped people that nobody else was taking a chance on because, whether they couldn't get approved, but I still ended up working with, we got them into some kind of a credit building program, or I know that I care, right? And I think whenever you start to realize, like, the things that I do and the way that I can help people actually makes a massive difference in their lives, you start taking it off of yourself and you start putting it on them. Honestly, if you're calling to help somebody and they're resistant to it, that's not on you. That's completely on them. And it's fine. And not everybody wants us at the moment, But, I don't know, just my two thoughts, I guess. Not saying that you're selfish. I'm just, sometimes it's easy to think, oh, I'm nervous because I'm worried about what I'm going to say. And it's I. And instead of this person probably really needs me. And it's the same thing like with the FSBOs. Do we know that a lot of the time FSBOs end up, the vast majority of the time, what is it, 90-something% of FSBOs end up.
And you call your fear, if you just make it about them, right? If you just talk to them, maybe you saw something on Facebook, hey, how was your vacation at Disney? It looks like you had a great time. Well, by the way, you still have the same job, right? If you ask them questions, they're going to naturally ask you questions back. That it's going to allow you to naturally insert that, oh, I actually, earlier last year, I got into real estate. I'm doing that now full time or whatever. And now you just have this conversation that connected you to their real estate needs without even having to sell them at all.
Right. Yeah. But no, I hear you, and honestly, I think that's probably one of the most common limiting beliefs, probably in the room. It's definitely for me. So I hear you.
Well, for sale by owners end up paying someone help with their transaction. And
Yeah.
if they use a lawyer, the lawyer's not going to give them service that we give them.
Oh, for sure.
That's a great example, because when I did that video the other day at the FSBO, there was a guy across the street, he called me over, he wanted my card, I gave him the card. And he was like, yeah, I want to use a realtor, but I don't want to pay X amount of dollars. He said, so if I go with the lawyer, I can just pay $2,000. I was like, but the beauty of working with a realtor, like myself, is that you get that connection, you get that relationship. I get to guide you throughout the whole entire process, not just at the table having to sign a document.
And you take your business seriously too. You know that you're going through extra training. You know that you're constantly making yourself better and increasing that value proposal that you have for somebody. Like I know that I'm worth something. I know that I'm worth more in this one specific instance than most any other attorney.
Right.
Like, this is what I do every day.
Right, an attorney is just an attorney, but this is what I,
Exactly. You're a specialist. So, yeah, have new fears come up. Classify your new fears about being a real estate agent as rational or irrational. Yeah, again, I think, they say rational or irrational. I don't necessarily think that any of our fears are typically, I'm sure somebody could come up with something insane. I certainly could. But I think your fears are rational. I think it comes from somewhere. I don't think that any of it's invalid, but at the same time, it's got to be overcome some way. We all got bills to pay. We all want to help people. Is there anybody in here who doesn't want to help people? And they just want to collect the check, other than Liz? Yeah. How do we, I was going to say, how do we know that somebody is going to be Liz who raised her hand?
And that's a good way of down our heck is to do not call list. If you start off your conversation, you call them, introduce yourself, talk to them a little bit, and then say, I want to know if you need some help. I'm concerned regarding real estate.
I would still avoid the do not call list. I hear what you're saying. I would still avoid it if you can, just because that person, let them come to you. Honestly, anybody that you know on the do not call list, if there's a way, that you're at that point, I would just I would let it sit, me personally.
Well, I don't
Since
call
I'm being
them.
recorded.
If I do look it up,
Yeah.
I don't
Maybe
call
just-
them if they're on a do not.
Right. Yes, definitely don't call them if they're on the do
No.
not call list.
But if I
Camera.
I will say, so obviously I don't call, but I like to go to yard sales. I was just telling her, I went to a yard sale over the weekend that said moving sale. I went up and I was like, I'm going to shoot my shot. I talked to the lady and she's like, yeah, I'm going to be selling this summer. And honestly, like, since you approached me, I know you're going to work hard for me because you're ambitious. I was like, okay.
Wow.
So then she was like, I might actually already have someone that wants to buy it. So then that's where I provided the value. And I was like, well, I have a great real estate attorney if you need one. So here's my card. And she's like, I'm definitely keeping your card because I'm going to use you if I'm selling.
What a Liz Smith conversation.
And, well,
oh, hey,
it's
by
like-
the way, I love that you're ambitious. I know you're going to work hard for me. Oh, I already have a buyer. I'd love to use you to list my home. I'm like, goodness gracious. I got the guy who's calling me for 45 minutes telling me about how much he hates realtors. I'm like,
You just got yard sales that say moving sale. It's, it's worth it. You might as well go and see if they are listing because they're obviously moving.
I will say.
That's what I do.
Yeah. I will tell you too, though, one of the things that she just brought up, so you're better than the vast majority of agents I've ever met at being in front of people and talking to people and at getting leads and following up with people. Just so you hear it sometimes in the industry and but they call it belly to belly. It's face to face, but a lot of the time you'll hear it and say obviously same thing. It's just a weird way to put it that I don't like, but you're going to hear a lot. But yeah, no, that's awesome. Well, it's a good thing that.
So again, I don't make the calls, but I still have the fears of like getting out of the car and like, oh, this person gonna chase me off their property type thing.
What makes you do it anyway?
Because I just remind myself, like, in a year or like 6 months, if I see a for sale sign in this yard, I'm gonna be pissed off that I didn't get out of the car and talk to the person. Because it's happened before. Yeah, I door knocked a house and they said, oh, we'll give you a call when we're ready to list. Never followed up. The house was for sale 6 months later.
And it hurt, right?
Yeah, no, it's pissed off.
It hurts every time.
That's my
It
fault.
hurts so bad.
It's my fault. So.
Well.
Anyway.
No, that was good. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So, overcoming fears with action. So, fear of being perceived as annoying or pushy. I get through that by understanding that I am annoying and I accept it. Consistent contact isn't annoying. It is how people remember you when they need help. When you send value-based content, people will remember you as being helpful and they will want to talk to you. Fear of not having enough value to offer. A lot of the time you see this with, just newer agents because they feel like, well, I don't, maybe I haven't done a transaction yet, so, what do I really know? Do I really know what I'm talking about? Honestly, a big part of that helped me, I think what helped me get over that was being in the office more. I started realizing that I was around just like monster agents. So I started over on the West Shore. One of the guys who kind of took me under his wing is a guy named Mike Braddock. I mean, Mike Braddock every single year sells easily well over $10 million. He taught me how to work with buyers, took me on showings. I mean, are any of you guys asking people, like, you know, especially if you don't, you know, you're not super comfortable with that kind of stuff, is anybody, you know, are you going out on inspections? Are you going out on showings? Are you going out just to learn, just to be around? Yeah, anybody?
I need to. I'm gonna start to, I did before, but I'm gonna get back into that again.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm
I
gonna
mean-
find a top agent.
Yeah.
So,
For those of you in PC, I'm sure Sarah's probably set stuff up. Obviously, if you guys going out like your field days and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've seen inspections and
Yeah.
done mock showings and stuff like that.
Did you feel like you learned anything from being out on the inspections?
The inspections, specifically, yeah, because we were using, I think every time that we've done it, it was Brent by request.
Yeah.
He's the one that I usually use personally for all my
Yeah.
deals too. So
Yeah.
yeah, like he's cool. He explains things very well. You get a good understanding of like what kind of goes into the inspection and like what he sees, and it really helps when you're reading that like paperwork afterwards. You're like, oh, okay, like I understand him. I understand yellow, red. Yeah.
Yep.
He's good. I like it.
Yeah. And honestly, I think a lot of that stuff, like going out on some of that stuff, I think just helps make you a better homeowner too. Like for those of us who own homes, like, would you say that you've learned things about your own home that you're like,
yeah.
oh, I'm glad I went out on this inspection. I'm like, you know, I have people.
When I go home. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I remember an agent saying, you know, now I know what this. So it was a U meter. Everybody knows what I'm talking about whenever I say a U meter on a radon pole. So basically it's supposed to measure the radon. You want the U meter to. If I showed you one, I'm sure you know what it looks like. But you want the levels to be like offset. You want them to be instead of just being balanced, because then that just means that it's not working. But if you're doing something wrong, or I'm so sorry, we'll go over. So you don't need to be flashy, just helpful, human, and local. Consistency beats creativity. So another thing that I'll say that I see newer agents do all the time is they constantly focus on, and honestly, there's some that I wish were in here that are not here at the moment, but I wish that they would hear this because their hearts are in the right place. They're honest. They're so good. They make these outstanding presentations. It's this, it's that. It's, you know, it's so well put together and so professional. The problem is that they don't have anybody to put it in front of. So you start not having the main thing be the main thing. And at the end of the day, we just need to find people to raise their hands and say, hey, I might need some help. Either, again, buying, selling, or investing in real estate. And it's not that those presentations aren't great. I'm not saying don't make them, but still just, I think people, more so than they remember your presentation or take a look at your presentation, the amount of presentations that I know that people have thrown off the table, they kind of end up throwing in the trash, or it ends up getting, it's on the kitchen table, then they start putting more stuff on top of the kitchen table, and then it's on your presentation. Or I've been in homes where I've seen other agents' presentations, and they're like off, just like discarded kind of somewhere where nobody's looking at it. And it's not, and again, it's not that I have nothing against any of that kind of stuff or leaving anything with anybody, but at the end of the day, create a connection, be helpful, and well, yeah, and I mean, know your local market, obviously. But yeah, so fear you're doing something wrong because you aren't getting results. Has anybody read a book called The Compound Effect? Tatiana?
No, I haven't. Can you tell me the name of the author book?
Oh, sorry, I was looking at this Tatiana. So she
There's
had her hand up.
two of us.
She read it.
Squared. You gotta say tat.
Tat.
Taji.
Yeah.
So the whole point of the book is just the fact that these small things that we do every day are habits. Those small things end up over time, they create something massive, right? Anybody heard about the invest, a penny, and then invest 2 pennies, and then invest 4 pennies, and then by the end of the month you got $10,000, something stupid, right? Everybody kind of know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What's that? An IUL? What does that stand for? Oh, okay. Wonderful. So I vaguely knew what I was talking about. I'm glad that somebody here knew exactly what it was called. There you go.
That's by Darren Hardy.
Darren Hardy, yeah. It's been years since I've read it, but just pointing out the overall concept is that even small actions over time end up producing big results. But the biggest thing, I also see so many agents, and I'm one of them too. Again, I'm not saying that I'm free from this, but so real estate follow-up is like gardening. Most of your effort pays off months or years later. Track small wins, one reply, one open, one thanks. So my first year was, technically my first year was 2021. I sold one house I got started, I think it was June 30th, I think is like when my cap resets. So 6 months I sold one house, and my mom and my stepdad were divorcing, so I ended up getting just kind of a pity, like, hey, go ahead, if you want to help me, with some showings, help me find a house, that'd be great. Because my mom knew that she could use and abuse me and kind of, hey, I want to go see this right now. I need you to make yourself available. She was way more comfortable talking to me like that than she would have been talking to any other agent like that, right? Anybody worked with family?
The worst.
It ends up being, there's some of the worst transactions
I did,
sometimes.
and I almost put them in their blind date.
Oh yeah.
I did. I had a.
That's the benefit of working with family too.
It was,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The only person to ever fire me was my stepdad, and then he rehired me like a week later. But he was the only person. He's like, you know what? I went out from under contract with it because they'd go through court. The whole time it was a stressful situation. Blah blah blah. I'm like, all right. And so let him out under contract. Ended up getting him back under contract here like a week and a half later. Whenever he used another agent, funny enough, and realized, oh, wait a second, that other agent has just zero, I'm not a priority. They have zero care or zero urgency to get me into these places. Yeah, super fun. So, but yeah, for those 6 months, I ended up with one sale and then didn't get anything again. Had a nice long winter of nothing. Still sometimes we go through winters and it's light. That's a whole separate conversation about, making sure that you're, saving some of those commissions for those cold winters. But yeah, and then the next year, come April, but I still kept putting in all of the work, but come April through December, I sold 20, I always forget, it's either 20 or 22 deals. The second year, so of 22. And I don't say that like, oh, well, look at me, but it was months and months and months and months of nothing. Of just being like, oh my gosh, should I, I'm going to need to get out of this. I'm never going to go full time. I was dual career. I mean, goodness, I was freaking out. I'm like, man, I'm looking at my wife. I'm like coming home. I'm like, oh, she married a loser. It was rough, man. It was rough. But as soon as it just took one, you ever hear when it rains, it pours? It's so true in sales. You just need to get that one out of the way, and they all start to come. And then you can kind of talk to other people. I was in a listing appointment, and I was like, yeah, actually, so it's kind of cool. I have this listing over here, and this listing over here, and this listing over here. Would love, but I want you to know I'm not too busy. I would love to help you guys out. And they were like, oh, okay, so he's actually doing something, So, how will you choose to expose yourself to your fears gradually to overcome them?
It's kind of like what I wrote for number 3, but I put, if I go for it and if it doesn't work that way, just find another.
Fair enough. What specifically?
If I go door knocking and let's say I don't get a lead because I didn't get a contact information from somebody, next time I go back out there, I have to get contact information to make sure I'm following up with people instead of waiting for them to call me.
Yeah. So you learned it from the first time.
Right.
Yeah. Was your clear in your throat? You trying to say something?
Oh, that was her.
Oh, that was you? Okay. You got.
You're really picking on us over here.
I'm just hearing these whispers.
Well, yeah.
So, But I think we kind of talked about it. Like a lot of those fears that we talked about, just having to do it. Just getting into a rhythm. Embrace the suck. I mean, yeah, I've seen you make calls and stuff, and I know that you don't want to make them because none of us want to make them. But you made yourself do it, and I've seen you make yourself do it time and time and time again. Does it get just a little bit easier?
It does. Yeah. It also really helps if some sucker walks through the door and can pass off a crazy phone call to them.
Yeah, when you can pass off a crazy phone call to an unsuspecting, young, good-looking Italian Irish.
Okay, not too much.
No, seriously, that one was rough. He had me on the phone for like an hour and a half, just talking to me. We started getting into like some conspiracy theory stuff. Listen, I still have like, I got like a twitch from it. Okay. So lead follow up. So yeah, just really kind of the mindset here then as well. So I reach out to leads, prospecting. I think Justin went over the difference between prospecting and marketing with you guys last time. Is that right? So prospecting, we're actively going to leads. We're actively going out, trying to fill the pipeline. Marketing, we're trying to attract. It'd be great to attract a bunch of leads because it's less scary, right? It'd be great to pay for a billboard and just be like, and just have this constant funnel of people who are calling you. It just never
I
really
almost called
happens
the
like
realtor
that.
the other day because I saw her sign, her billboard 3 times on the same highway. I almost called her and said, "Girl, what you doing?"
At a certain point, if you have 3 billboards on the same highway.
I
was gonna say
Yeah.
you're spending a lot of money. But and I'm not saying that there's not ways that won't work, that won't attract leads. There certainly are. A lot of times, so sign callers. Like if we have a listing and we have our sign in the ground, people are driving by it, or people see it on Zillow. Definitely gotten people who have called. I listed a FSBO in Southern Lancaster, and I had some people from New York actually see it on Zillow, call me. So there's little things that you can kind of do just by doing the business that'll attract more business. Holding an open house for people, like you say, that's doing the business, attracting business. Your leads, starting the conversation, turning them into contacts. So contacts, let's see what we got here. So contact, lead source 1, lead source 2, lead source 3. Becomes a contact in command. Can you guys tell that I got like access to like some of this training material like today? Super cool. Love it. So
That's messed up.
it really is though. It really is. So it was funny too. So we had this we all get these videos. Everybody who's going to be doing these trainings and stuff, this Breakthrough 120 training. So we all get this video of like a train the trainer. It says up at the top of the video, leadership. Apparently, it took us until now to realize that if it has that banner, people who aren't in leadership, like me, can't open it. You get like a 304, like an error message, and you connect whenever you try and open it. So Robin gave me her, Robin opened it up for me and stuff, and I was trying to, I got like halfway through before I ended up, starting here today at 11. So that was super, super fun. So, but yeah, so the more contacts, obviously you're connecting with your contacts, becomes a contact in command. So you'll start adding tags, and we're going to go over through, obviously what a tag is and this and that. So creating custom fields. So then is it an opportunity? Is there a chance for immediate result? Or do we put it on a smart plan and it's just something that we're going to end up having to kind of build to eventually? Most of your people, most of your contacts, the vast majority of them, you're going to end up having something from them eventually, obviously, as long as you stay in touch with them, as long as you have some kind of consistent contact, right? 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be an immediate opportunity, especially whenever we know that how often do people typically move? It's typically about every 7 to 10 years.
Unless you
So-
live in Juniata County.
What's that?
Unless you live in Juniata County.
Then people are taking a lot longer to move. Yeah, a lot of the time you see more rural areas, they do have a lot of, I know Perry County, there's people who don't want to come out of the county for anything if they don't have to. They might come out of the county for Walmart or to go to Bass Pro. That's pretty much it.
They have
So-
online marketing now. That's what they do, most of them.
What's that?
Online shopping. That's
Yeah.
what a lot of them do.
Yeah. Those who have Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So buyers, you'll send property searches, things of that nature, and then sellers, you can send them monthly neighborhood nurture, just kind of let them know what's going on in the neighborhood. Honestly, people are nosy. They want to know, who's moving in and out of the neighborhood. Not who's moving in and out of the neighborhood, but what houses are moving out of the neighborhood. A lot of the time for sellers, just people who are there want to kind of see what's going on in their neighborhood from like an equity standpoint. Like, okay, was there something that, this house just sold for so-and-so amount? Maybe my house would sell for so-and-so amount.
Right.
So sending some of that, some of that stuff to kind of nurture those people. Reaching out to recently actives, call quarterly in a TCPA compliant way. It's everywhere, man. I promise that you're going to see us so many times through this. So, but at the end of the day, you're trying to get an appointment. So, do I bring value to potential clients? Buyer and seller listing agreements. I agree to represent client. Yeah. I mean, if you became a real estate agent, I'm assuming that you're agreeing to represent clients. And then closing, obviously, whenever you actually get paid. So 87% of sellers said they would use their agent again and refer them to others, but only 29% of sellers use an agent they had used previously. 91% of buyers said they would use their agent again and refer them to others, but only 15% of buyers use an agent they had used previously. Now, of course, there's stuff like, okay, well, I moved out of the area, so it's not like I can use, I can use the same agent. Maybe I'd move to a different state or something like that. But yeah, I mean, why do we think this is?
Buyers and liars.
I'm not saying top of mind.
Sellers and yellers.
Sellers are worse.
Sellers and yellers.
Did you ever hear that before?
But
I think
Yeah.
it also because people we're almost. I think we don't
I've
present
done it
the full
1,000
value.
times.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That we can. So we just, if you're working with a person, they just see you as just like one and done. Like we just do this for them.
right.
But they're not seeing you as someone that can actually value and have a network of other people that they might meet later on in life.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just never established that connection with them, but hey, I was here.
Well, that's the thing. I was going to say, and whose fault is that really primarily?
Theirs.
The broker.
No.
Right?
I'm joking.
I would want to say theirs as well.
Y'all were like,
It's their problem, it's not
Their
our problem.
No, but honestly, I mean, if they're not like, and it's crazy too because like the way that we think, like, oh yeah, like my real estate agent can connect me to this person, this person, this person, this person. We as real estate agents have these massive networks, but then we also like these people. It's completely, it goes by them. They have no idea. Like so many of them should be reaching out to us for whether it's, goodness, I mean, a good contractor, an insurance person, somebody who's going to do this or going to do that. There's so many different people that we have access to in this industry. And that's the thing. A lot of the time we know people who can give like firsthand accounts of actually using, again, somebody like a contractor or something like that. But it does fall on us at the end of the day to be like, hey, listen, like it's a lot of agents just look at it and they're like, okay, well, I got paid. Now I don't have to keep in touch with that person. Honestly, one of the biggest things you guys should be doing, and I'm going to go off on a completely different tangent here, as I'm known to do. But one of the things that a super, super successful agent over on the West Shore does is whenever he closes, he's like, awesome. So when's the housewarming party? Gets himself to the housewarming party. Any of you guys know Trent Snyman? So Trent Snyman will invite himself to every housewarming party, does not wait for them to invite him. He's like, so when am I coming to the housewarming party? When's that going to be? And then he talks to all of that person's, like, their family, their this, their that, because now he's the hero. He showed up, it's like, oh, hey, hey, this is the guy who helped me buy the house.
I like that.
He's bringing like a nice bottle of champagne or something. Like he's turning. Oh yeah, why not? You know, but these people can end up becoming. I know another lady who, whenever she closes, she brings a massive thing of toilet paper. Because when people move, they're moving with all of this other stuff. A lot of certain things end up getting forgot. And then, I mean, you don't want to, well, honestly, just as agents, like, we probably should have toilet paper in our car at all times. If we're going out on showings and your client has to go to the bathroom and that place is vacant, what are you doing?
Yeah,
That's how you find out who you are as a person and who you are as a realtor. Are you going to be prepared? Yeah, I mean, you're going to.
Well, I've been in several houses. It's like, nope, the water is not hard.
Yeah, absolutely. You're like, you know what? We're gonna. No, I'm sorry.
That's a really good idea, because I used to work up at the racetrack back years ago.
Up in Sealands Grove?
No, up here in Granville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, up in the horse racing.
Yeah.
And this is before they turned it around. They used to have a buffet.
Mm-hmm.
Before they got the buffet, we used to wait on them. Us waitresses, when we weren't working, we'd go and crash these parties that were going on in the other banquet rooms. Because we'd get to talking to somebody that was there and come out and said, oh, come on in. So we would go in there and we weren't drinking, but all they did was eat food, dump everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good idea, because people are really more receptive to that than what you realize.
But yeah, I mean, you just, honestly, you made all of these cold people, they're all warm.
Yeah.
I mean, the best kind of referral is a warm referral. If I'm doing something right as a realtor, and you're going to let your family know about it, especially if I'm right there, it's like, oh, hey, this guy, man, you won't believe what we ended up doing to get this house. You know, and that kind of stuff speaks volumes. I mean, you may not have any kind of a real relationship with these people. Obviously, you probably don't, unless maybe you're helping out some family or something like that. But good chance. I mean, you know, that person has a little bit of credibility with their family. They know, like, and trust, you know, the person that you just helped. And now they're trusting that, okay, well, you know, this member of my family or this close friend of mine is saying that this is a good agent. I mean, maybe I'm looking to do something here in the near future. Maybe it's worth asking a question or two, you know, hey, just kind of curious, what do you think about the, you know, so how is the market, right? How often do you get asked, how is the market? You know, oh yeah, well, you know, what are the rates? I always get asked, what are the interest rates? You know, if somebody asked you right now what the interest rates are, would you be able to tell them? If somebody,
Yeah.
I
can tell them.
not to put you guys on the spot, but
I can tell everybody.
so for this next portion, just stretching here for a second.
I'm telling Joy.
Yeah. She'll be like, he's stupid. Like, that's not surprising at all. But at the end of the day, sorry, getting back to because again, you guys get me off on tangents, and I feel like part of it's my fault. I also feel like part of it's your fault. It's fine. You're getting the message. There we go. That's right. So just, again, goes back to that whole don't be a secret agent thing. You know, follow up with your people afterwards. Obviously, they just did you this massive favor, of course, of using you. You know, not like there's not other agents out there that they probably couldn't find. And I know that no agent obviously is as good as you are, but at the same time, you know, show them some appreciation, show them some love. You know, client appreciation events, things of that nature. Speaking of, going to have one here in the fall. Would love to see everybody there, maybe with some clients. Shameless plug for our committee. Seconded by Liz. So
one thing I can say though about like touching like people that you already work with, like past clients, it's never too late. My first year,
No, for
I
sure.
think I sold like one house, but the second year I sold a couple more, and then I haven't talked since. But since I've been back in the office like every day, like this past 6 months, 4. Okay. So for the past 4 months, I've been reaching out to all of my past clients, and I've been in touch with them like pretty constant and consistent. So
Yeah.
it's cool. One of them even reached out to me randomly. He was like, "Oh, we got our roof fixed. What can we do to change the value on our house?" And I was like, "Well, we'll look into that." But
Yeah.
I was able to get them like an updated CMA and everything like that. So no overtime, the house would build more equity. It's only been a year, so the roof change didn't make much of a difference.
Yeah, and I
It
mean,
adds value eventually.
right, exactly. And it's never too late to start. It's never too early to start. You know, just reach out, touch your people, show them some love, come from a place of service, have genuine conversations. As I say 1,000 times, you know, to Tatiana, Jade, literally everybody, you know, just get somebody to tell you the truth. And if you can help them, do what you can. Yeah, so every 7 to 10 years, somebody's moving. Again, every 7 to 10 years, somebody's moving. A little bit of redundancy. But yeah, showing all of just the different events, different things to touch base with. You know, birthdays, vacations. I don't even know what the hell that is. I don't know. Is this telling them that, hey, the stock crashed? I don't know what that is.
That was the 2000 recession.
It's the
That
2000.
was the recession.
That's the recession. Yeah. It looks like a stork to me, I think. So babies, I'm assuming that this has something to do with job promotions. Like, yeah. Everything. Yeah, whatever you, thanks, Javon. I couldn't have said it better.
It was like the light bulbs coming on,
Yeah.
something in their brain, the
Yeah,
light bulbs coming
like
on.
some business
Something's gonna
idea.
happen. They had a great idea.
You want to become a realtor? You want to start? Yeah. Famous last words.
What's the next one that they like started drinking and?
They started drinking?
Look, that one.
I don't know. I have zero idea what that is. I don't know what most of this is, and I just saw half the training video before I started talking
They
to you guys.
got married or found a girlfriend.
Yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, there you go. So, Jean Arant, I don't know who that is, but his advice is here for some reason. So, Jean's advice is to keep it simple, have meaningful conversations that come from contribution. The exact same thing we've been saying the entire time, and the business comes to you. Subscribe to the MREA podcast for this story and one-pager. I don't know what that is.
So there's like, we have the
You know what one
agent
pager is?
success story here. Usually Justin would have like one of us or Dip. We have this.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Jay. I don't even have that in my, yeah, I don't actually have that in my little packet here. So my next page is that. So is there somebody who could read this story? Go for it.
Jean's advice.
Oh,
no,
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 sorry.
it's
The,
this.
in the,
Oh, page 21.
I don't, do I have that?
Yeah.
I Googled him.
Gina Ramp.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, okay. Oh, this one right there.
Look like a good guy?
He looks like a good.
Oh, okay. I see you, Gene. Go ahead.
Sorry about that. With over 30 years of experience in the real estate industry, Gina Ron turns a $100 million real estate business, runs a $100 million real estate business. His advice for this level of success: quit trying to make it complicated. He learned in bold that he needed to have 20 conversations a day. That's it. He goes deeper to add that those conversations should be meaningful and they should come from contribution. Coming from contribution simply means shifting the focus entirely to helping others, whether it's powering real estate questions, offering advice on home improvements, or guiding them through the buying and selling process. Gene says if you do that, you don't ever have to ask for the business. When Gene's team starts their lead generation for the morning, it's with the directive, go help somebody. At this point in his career, Gene's database is 30,000 strong. With so many people, there's no way to just remember to reach out to everyone value consistency. Everyone in the team's database is on the touch plan, and unless they ask to be taken off, they are contact consistency and with value. Follow-up is so important that if a team member has more than 10 undone, overdue tasks, they no longer receive leads from the team. Following up is the business, so be sure you're honoring your lead generation and the follow-up time so you can build a database business as large as you want.
Awesome.
I
Thank
agree
you.
with that 'cause that's what I learned in Bold too.
Yeah. Well, so, and we all, so it, again, I just, assuming that we all are making some kind of calls at some point in time. Does anybody here have like a set time that they do it? I will say, so the Red Book, MREA, does say to
I do.
to make your calls typically in the morning. Like if you get here early, you'll probably see Aaron calling. I think Aaron calls for, 2 hours, 3 hours? I could probably pull him out of here. But just because that's typically when people have the most energy is in the morning. And nobody really wants to be making calls, kind of at that time of the day when you're just kind of dragging. People can kind of hear the energy in your voice. They can hear whenever you're smiling. You can hear somebody smile on the other end of the phone. Like, you tracking me? Like, you hear what I'm saying? Is it true? Yeah?
You can hear somebody's anger, so you can definitely hear somebody smile.
Boy, can you hear their anger.
My state training told me.
Yeah, for sure.
My son is interested in this because the other day, while I'm cleaning out my one room to make it my office / sewing room, I got that book, the Red Book, the
Yeah.
REIA.
MREA, yep.
Yeah, and my son, he's in a wheelchair right now, but he's seen that book and he goes, $1 million. He said, well, I wish I had $1 million. And I said, can it?
Yeah.
I said, if you follow Gary Keller's example in this book, you can be a millionaire several times over.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's agents in this. I mean, there's plenty of agents in this office that have well over a net worth of $1 million. Like, there's a lot, actually.
I think mine is $1.
It's all right. So he's
Are you reading MREA like you should be? Like a good Keller Williams agent?
I read the book the whole way through. They have the new house and nobody showed up. I read the book the whole way through. I thought, this is what I'm going to do, but if things happened in my life, but I am going, I told my son, read that book before I left this morning, but I don't know if he can find it now because I just had on top of it. So I'm going to call him at break
Yeah.
and tell him where it's at so he can look at it today.
Yeah.
Because he likes to.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, no, it's a good book, honestly, for just about anybody. Actually, Liz and I were at a career fair. That's what I was looking for. So we were at a career fair, and Liz was trying to pass them out to anybody she could get her hands on. No, I mean, even outside of real estate, just in general. I mean, there's a lot of, I think, really, really helpful tips and stuff in there. Just really good advice.
It works in any business, really. The way you
Yeah.
have it written is, you still have to make the contacts. You still have to let the people know what you're doing.
Well, I mean, if you're in business, you need customers, you need clients. Yeah. So, how to stay in touch with your database, and I think here in the next one here on, I guess, Wednesday, we'll go over more of like the tags and stuff like that, and hopefully Brandon will be here. Brandon, I think, so we found out that this whole second part of Breakthrough 120, you're really supposed to have a tech trainer with you. So, sure enough. But no, we'll try and have him here for Wednesday, because we're going to start getting into your actual databases. We'll get into Command. We'll go over tags. We'll go over SmartPlans. We'll go over tasks. We'll go over all of that stuff. So, but benefits of a CRM, customer relationship management, for those of, we're not putting that together, system. So staying organized, follow, become systematic, nurture relationships long-term, increase referrals. Angel.
Why do I always
So
think that's
Excel
such a
is
boring
not
message?
considered a CRM,
Really?
although again,
Because of
I hear you on that.
Because you have to do a manual.
I mean, I guess you could consider it a CRM to a degree if that's how you're using it.
I can't.
But
It's not beneficial.
it doesn't really help you make those things. It's nice to kind of have them all in one spot, all of your connections, all of your people, all of your contacts in one spot, knowing what you need to do next, knowing the next way to, the next way to make a touch just being any kind of, reaching out, having some kind of a connection. That can be a call, that can be an email, that can be sending them a piece of mail, that can be a pop by, that can be all sorts of different things. But just some kind of a connection between you and that contact. So,
Someone needs to order a cutlery set. A reminder just popped up there. Is this from the front desk?
Order a cutlery.
There was a little reminder that popped up there.
It's on Lee or Robbins or something, yeah. So having a daily list of who to call, email, and text keeps Richard's 116 million plus business running and growing. Is there anybody who can read? I assume you guys have Richard's story in front of you. I do not, so if somebody could read that.
I'll read it. What page?
25.
See if I got it in this one.
Agent success stories?
Yes.
Okay. Richard Shulman found his way into a career as a real estate agent after growing tired of working as a professional house painter. Right away, he learned that he needed to treat it like a real job. And he found the best and most cost-effective lead generation method for him. As a 116 million plus per year producer, he attributes his success to creating a database and following up with it. Richard's database provides him with a daily list of who to call, email, or text. He makes sure he has appropriate consent before calling or texting anyone so that he stays TCPA compliant. He also removes anyone who asks not to be contacted. Most of his contacts never leave his database. He illustrates this with the story of a client.
If you turn that back down, that was clear for me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because there's a glare on that.
20 minutes.
Okay, that's perfect. Most of his contacts never leave his database. He illustrates this with the story of a client he represented 15 years ago. For the next 15 years, he consistently reached out via email, calls, and texts, receiving fewer than 3 responses. Eventually, the client emailed him ready to sell his house. Richard sees this 15-year journey as the perfect example of his model to follow up forever. Richard advises that a database should start with one's sphere of influence, and that it's a huge mistake to exclude anyone based on assumptions. He believes agents wrongly assume some people can't afford a home when, in his experience, many he thought couldn't eventually do. Since nearly everyone wants to own real estate, everyone should be in the database. In this 21 years in business, Richard states that he has never made a sales call. Instead of selling, he focuses on offering value, which leads to people asking him to help them buy or sell a house. His strategy is to remain consistently in front of his contacts, because the moment they decide to enter the market is always unpredictable. Forever follow-up equals a forever business, one that can support you and your family. Be consistent and get the right now and the later business that will sustain you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're gonna need business now, but are you still gonna have bills to pay in 7 to 10 years whenever somebody's making their next move? Probably.
15
Right.
years?
15 years, yeah.
Oh, nah, he was definitely.
So at that point, I mean, honestly, after 15 years, it's not just a regular, it's not like it's just some regular contact. That's a real relationship that you have, right? So, honestly, I think, goodness gracious, well, about 40 minutes left here, guys. So, but it says that this is where today stops. So, yeah, I know, right? It said to stop at page 27.
Okay, we'll see you Wednesday.
So, yeah, I guess the rest is going to be Wednesday, actually going into command. And again, that's when we're going to be doing the SmartPlans, the tags, all that stuff. So, enter 5 new contacts with all information. So, entering 5 new contacts, phone number, email. If you have birthday, that's awesome. And anything that they like, hobby, anything that you have on that person, enter that into command. I say hobbies and stuff especially as well. Yeah, I mean, if you know their address, that would also be stellar. I mean, heck, it'd be awesome if you knew somebody who was looking to move. Somebody brand new that you haven't already talked to, but if you can go out and make 5 new contacts between now and Wednesday, come in with 5 new ones that we can actually work on and set up SmartPlans for. Everybody can commit to that goal.
Yes.
I'll do it.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get him safe.
Liz, I know you're not new. What, can you meet 5 new people between now and Wednesday? Have 5 conversations. You're a capper, so I'm sure you can do it.
No, if everyone else is doing it, I'll do it.
Thanks, Liz.
How about that?
So when you add new contacts into command, you should confirm that you have proper consent under the TCPA and any applicable state telemarketing laws. If you want to call or text them, contact your attorney or visit https. I always mix up colons and semicolons. Semicolon, correct?
No, that's a colon. A
Every
semi.
time.
Someone has the thing.
That's right, yeah, that's / console.command.kw.com /connect /learning /topics /10471.
It sounds like a rap song.
That's what I do. For more information about how to determine if you have proper consent. So you're asking about, one of you guys was asking about where do I go to determine?
She showed me.
Should you?
Yeah, well, she showed me another issue on it.
Yeah, we're just looking at the registry, the do not call registry.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions on anything we went over?
Oh, nice.
What you got?
I don't even know. I don't think it was about this. I was going to ask if you're lead generating on Wednesday, and then I was going to invite others to come.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna lead generate on Wednesday. For anybody who wants to come out, what are we doing? 4 to 6?
Yes. Yes.
Do 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock here on Wednesday. This is being recorded, so I can't mention anything. But if it's BYOB, makes calls a little bit easier to make. It's not bad. It's not bad. Try it, like, try it before you knock it. What do you got?
Can I invite my son?
Invite your son to the lead gen.
Maybe wait.
I would maybe wait,
Okay.
but I can talk to Dave and see what he would think about that. I mean, I guess I personally don't care, but I don't know that it's going to be a lot of fun for him. I mean, so typically what we'll do is first 15 minutes, we'll just go through some quick, like, hey, here's what I might get hit with the conversation. A little bit of role playing. I hate role playing. You probably hate role playing, so we're not going to do it for very long. And then what we're looking to do is set appointments, right? So I don't care what lead list you call. I don't care if it's FSBOs, if it's expireds, if it's verbos.
Is this the next class?
No,
No, this
so
is
this
from
is
4 to
this
6.
is Wednesday later, yeah, from 4 to 6. We're actually making calls. What you're dual career, right?
Yeah.
So I was dual career for 3.5 years. Believe me, I understand the struggle. What time do you get off work if you go?
I work from 3 to 11.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well.
If you can come in.
Wait,
during
3 in the
day-
morning. Wait, hold on. 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. I'm assuming, correct?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Made
3
myself
p.m.
look more foolish.
Yeah, no, 3 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Are you on that same schedule for Thursday?
Yeah, I have off Tuesdays and every other weekend.
Okay, I was gonna say, Thursday.
That's why I don't come to Empire.
It's okay, it's okay. You're there in spirit, girl, we got you.
Yeah, yeah.
On Thursday, we have the same thing with Rich Small. We lead generate as well, Thursday 10 to 12.
Oh, okay.
So if you can come in during the day.
Okay.
On Thursday.
Yeah, I can do
Yeah.
that. 10 to
Trying to be
12.
there then as well, but yeah. Does anybody have any
10 to 12.
any ahas from today? Anything you want to try doing? Anything you want to? What you got?
Good toilet paper.
Oh, yeah, that's a big aha.
I'm telling you.
That's a very big one.
Honestly, sometimes it doesn't hurt to just love on your people. Like if you have some people that you sold a house to, some buyers, pick up a pizza or two, go over, get them. I don't know. I've gone over to people's houses with toilet paper, with pizza. Got I don't know. Just stop. I mean, call and be like, hey. Like I went to a lady named Lisa Hartman. So actually, she bought. And if anybody knows people on the West Shore, Brittany Giles' house.
Mhm.
So just call. Like, hey, do you guys have like dinner plans tonight? Yeah. Or is there another night that you guys don't have anything? I don't think we got anything planned Thursday. Awesome. You mind if I bring you guys some pizza? What do you guys like? What does everybody like? Dude, I'll take the order. There's all sorts of stuff you can do. I know people
Who's gonna say no to free food?
Who's gonna say no to free food? I've dropped off just for Popeyes. I've dropped off I've done bags of popcorn and stuff like that. I've super glued my card to the bag. I mean, I don't know. Do what you can. Do what you can for a tax write-off, baby. We'll get real creative, real quick. But no, as far as
Speaking of tax write-off,
yeah, hit me.
Isn't David doing something tomorrow with
The
P&L?
P&L? Yeah.
Is that at 9 a.m. or is it at 11?
Usually education day classes are at 11, but you can
Because
double
I
check.
had it in my calendar at 9, but I might have just threw it in there.
Should that cover the tax write-off?
Yeah, I think he could
I think it's at
probably
11.
cover that.
It's at 11.
Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, anybody can go, but while you're still sitting here.
See, we can get a break
What is
too,
it?
so we
Yeah,
can
right.
run right through it.
Oh wait,
That
was I supposed to give you guys a break? Did Justin give you guys a break?
We didn't need a break.
Oh, now you probably like him way more than me.
That's why we went a little quicker.
We
didn't
ended
have a break.
early.
Yeah, see, there you go.
I'll see you Wednesday. Are we done?
I think so.
Oh, are we? Everyone's okay.
I say it.
So I'll see you Wednesday.
If not, blame me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right? I
Which
said
one?
it and I was like,
Both of them actually.
Oh, yeah?